Alright, so I just want to drop this video in response to Cine Ranter. This is Castor Troy. I'm a big Sopranos fan. Been watching Sopranos since probably the age of 9 when it came out. It's just always been there for me. I was born in 91, but this isn't about me. This is about Cine Ranter and his video that he dropped pretty much saying that we're wrong about Richie April. Now, I don't care what opinion you have on Richie April. April, let me say his name right. My bad for messing it up. But I just want to keep it short and simple. I don't want to take up a lot of anybody's time today. I just want to say that April is not a misunderstood guy. He's not a misunderstood villain. From what I'm seeing, he's just a scumbag. Like, he's a scumbag. And I don't like Sign Rancher or Cine Rancher, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know how you say his name because he never really says his name in videos. So I guess it's Cine Ranter, whatever his name is. He's a great YouTuber. He has a great channel. Don't get me wrong. He's not a bad person or anything. I'm not going to attack him. I just feel that this video he made about Richie April is so bad. So just to start off, Cine Ranter thinks that Richie April is like this noble mob guy who did a lot to go to jail when he came out after a 10-year sentence. But really, the show doesn't tell you that. The show does not tell you that Richie April is a noble guy who did time for somebody. You don't even know what he went to jail for. All you know is that Richie's getting out of jail after serving 10 years. That does not make him noble. That just makes him a motherfucker that got out of jail, who served 10 years of jail, and now he's out. So really, he came out as a problem to Tony because that was Jackie's brother. So Jackie was supposed to have to deal with Richie and handle Richie. That wouldn't have had nothing to do with Tony. Tony has no reason to be loyal or to help Richie. It's not like Richie went away and did time for Tony. It's not like Richie has to, like, Richie did nothing for Tony to really be like, oh, I need to look out for this guy. Secondly, you can kind of say that Richie stepped up for Tony when they robbed Feach's card game, but let's keep it real. When Tony and them robbed Feach's card game, at that time, he's the son of his dad, Johnny. Johnny and Junior would not have let Feach whack Tony and his friends. You know what I'm saying? They just wouldn't have let him do it. Nobody got hurt. It was a clean robbery. So there was no way they were going to get touched. And there was no way that Richie really stepped up for him. That's why if you look at that scene that Cine Ranter's talking about, that's why Tony should be loyal to or should look out for Richie because Richie's a good guy. No, Richie never looked out for Tony. So for one, Tony only should have to do what he needs to do for Richie. Richie got out of jail. He's more of a problem to Tony. There's nowhere in the show that it says that Richie's really a top earner. Nowhere in the show says that he's a top earner. Everything points him out to be a problem. So the way the mob works is you have to earn. You got to be an earner to get respect. So thinking that he had more respect or more clout or he was just a guy who deserved so much, why does he deserve so much? From what I'm seeing, the only thing Richie did was Richie went to jail for 10 years for fucking selling heroin, which is against mob rules anyway to sell heroin. So that's why nobody really gave a fuck about Richie. Richie was a low-level mob thug. See, what the show was trying to show you is that it's not all about going to jail. It's about making that money, which Richie really wasn't bringing in money to Tony at all. You never seen really Richie handing Tony an envelope. He was just a problem. He was just an older brother scumbag who was a scumbag probably when they were kids, which is how Tony looked at him. That's one thing I do know about Tony as a person is that if somebody looks out for Tony, he doesn't forget that. He doesn't forget shit about people looking out for him in his childhood. Obviously, Richie didn't do shit but just be an annoying asshole who dated his older sister. So you know he tried to little brother him all the time. So Tony knew that Richie was going to be a problem. So all this bullshit about, oh, we should feel sorry for Richie is just stupid. I just don't get with that. I don't feel like that is the good way to be to handle this. What I would recommend, really, personally, is to really rewatch the second season, Cine Ranter, and look at what Tony says about Richie. Stop just focusing on Richie, because that's your problem. Anybody can make any character seem like they're not as bad as they look if you just focus on that character like you did. But you didn't focus on the whole entire context that the show gave you. No matter what, Tony was the boss. Whether Richie didn't like it or not, he was challenging the authority of the boss from the very beginning of the show that he arrived. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not I hate Richie or Richie's a bad character of the show. The fact that he was a great enough character to make people not like him is good. That means that it was a good actor. He was a well-written character. But don't try to flip the script and bring all this sympathy that, oh, Richie was just a hurt old man, and then you didn't even really speak of what could really be hurt for Richie. What I would say, what is sad about Richie is his brother died. Getting out of jail, he lost 10 years of his life. But it wasn't like he was serving 10 years for some shit that Tony's dad did. Or it wasn't like he was serving 10 years for protecting the family or saving the family. Ricky went to jail because Ricky was a scumbag who sold heroin, got caught selling heroin, went to jail. So there's no reason for Ricky to get anything more than what he got from Tony. On top of that, Richie was stepping on toes. He was selling cocaine or coke. I don't want to say cocaine. He was selling coke on company routes. You can't sell coke on garbage routes, Richie. Tony never said, Richie, you can't sell coke. He just said, don't sell it on company garbage routes, which just makes perfect sense. So that's why I feel like that video from Cine Ranter is just horrible. And if this video, people don't like it, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if people subscribe, because I just made this video to purely let people know that Cine Ranter is wrong, or Cine Ranter, whatever the fuck his name is incorrect. If you are a Sopranos fan, though, I do recommend his channel. He has a lot of good content about the Sopranos. This episode just wasn't it for me, which made me create this video response to it. I'm going to put the link to his video in the description. But if you really are a true diehard Sopranos fan, that's what this video is for. Like I said, I don't really care about subscribers or likes. I just wanted to respond to Cine Ranter because his video about Richie Aprile being misunderstood is just so bad. And I feel like any hardcore Sopranos fan would know that Richie was a scumbag. He was written as a scumbag. And he'll always be a scumbag because he sold drugs on company garbage routes. Because he didn't respect the boss, Tony Soprano. He was older than Tony, so instead of combating Tony, he should have tried to work his way up and do what he needed to do to get himself right into a position instead of challenging Tony's authority left and right. Richie fucked himself over. And then the biggest mistake he made was dating Janice. Why would you date Janice? There's no reason to date Janice. And then he got mad at Chrissy for putting his hands on Adriana, and he went and did the same exact thing to Janice before they were married. So Richie was just a scumbag hypocrite, and that's all I gotta say. No disrespect, Cine Ranter, Cine Ranter, but before you drop videos like that, can you please do more research? Don't drop bullshit videos about Richie. And that's all I gotta say, bro. Keep up the good work, though. You're making good videos, and what's up, everybody? Y'all have a good day. This is Caster Troy, and I'm out. Peace.